Buried in the blazing deserts of southern Jordan, lies a city carved not just from stone, but from the very soul of ancient civilization. Petra, a place forgotten by the world for over 1,000 years, a place that whispers its secrets to those who listen. Who built it? Why was it abandoned? And how did a hidden kingdom rise from the sand, only to vanish into legend? This is the story of Petra, a city of mystery, marvel, and majesty. Origins of Petra. And so Petra was born, not imposed upon the land, but grown from it. Its buildings didn't merely occupy space, they emerged from the very rock, like memories carved in time. The Nabataeans designed with intent. Their facades, ornate and towering, weren't just monuments to wealth or power, they were expressions of cultural fusion, each chisel stroke blending Greek elegance with Arabian spirit and Eastern symbolism. They honored their dead in tombs grander than palaces, but worshipped in open-air sanctuaries under desert skies. Here, nature and spirituality met. No domes, no walls, just wind, stone, and sky. And as empires rose and fell around them, the Nabataeans thrived. Not through conquest, but connection. They mapped the desert like a language, with every route, spring, and pass known by heart. They built more than a city, they built a network, a pulse in the heart of the ancient world, where goods, ideas, and people flowed freely. Petra glowed not only with the hue of red sandstone, but with the energy of exchange. It was a place of innovation, conversation, and coexistence. And when night fell, it didn't darken. It sparkled, torchlight bouncing off stone walls, the scent of spices thick in the air, music and stories echoing through narrow canyons. Even now, the silence of Petra speaks. It speaks of a people who saw opportunity where others saw only obstacles. A people who didn't just survive the desert, they mastered it. And in mastering the desert, they left behind not a ruin, but a legacy, carved not only in rock, but in the memory of civilization itself. The master builders. Petra was not built. It was sculpted. Every doorway, every column, every stair was etched by hand into sheer rock faces. There were no cranes, no scaffolds, only vision and will. They carved up, not down, beginning at the top of the cliff and working their way downward to avoid collapse, a method both daring and precise. And their masterpiece? Al-Khazne, the treasury. Standing 40 meters tall, its Hellenistic columns, Corinthian capitals, and mythological reliefs appear like a mirage in stone. Legends say it held Pharaoh's gold, but truth outshines myth. It likely honored a Nabataean king, merging Eastern spirituality with Greco-Roman aesthetics. But beauty was only half the brilliance. Petra's survival relied on one thing: water. In a desert that sees barely 15 centimeters of rain a year, the Nabataeans mastered every drop. Hidden aqueducts ran through the Seek, invisible to enemies, vital to life. Dams held back flash floods. Cisterns carved deep into the rock stored water for months. They turned the desert into a living city, not in defiance of nature, but in partnership with it. To this day, engineers marvel at Petra's hydrology. It wasn't just architecture, it was environmental intelligence, centuries ahead of its time. Petra's golden age. By the 1st century AD, Petra was not just surviving, it was thriving. It had become the crown jewel of the incense trade, a city where desert caravans gave way to marble colonnades and where traders, priests, and poets walked side by side. Greek amphitheaters echoed with Arabian dialects. Roman-style villas shared walls with Nabataean homes. Gods from Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Greece stood shoulder to shoulder in temples and tombs. Art flourished. Sculpture, metalwork, textiles, all bore Petra's signature blend of East and West. This was no backwater outpost. This was a cosmopolitan capital. And the world noticed. In 106 AD, the Roman Empire annexed the Nabataean kingdom, not through war, but diplomacy. Petra became part of Provincia Arabia. Roman influence seeped in. New roads, new forums, a fusion of governance. Yet Petra held its soul. The Nabataean spirit lingered in every carving, every ceremony, every shadow. But even golden ages have twilight. The great trade routes shifted. Maritime lanes began to replace camel caravans. And as commerce moved to the seas, Petra's pulse began to slow. But in its prime, Petra was a beacon, a city where stone came alive, water flowed uphill, and cultures converged in the heart of the unforgiving desert. The fall and forgetting. But time is cruel to greatness. Petra, once vibrant with voices and trade, began to fall silent. New maritime trade routes bypassed the desert. Earthquakes in the 4th and 6th centuries shattered Petra's aqueducts, temples, and homes. As the Roman grip loosened and Islam rose, the city's glow dimmed. The markets emptied, the gates closed. By the 7th century, Petra had all but vanished from the world's memory. Absent from maps, absent from chronicles. Only the Bedouin knew she was still there, sleeping behind sandstone walls. They passed down her name in hushed tones. They protected her, not with walls but with secrecy. Petra became legend once more. In a world that forgot her, Petra waited. A city carved in stone, slowly reclaimed by it. Rediscovery. More than 1,000 years later, Petra's silence was broken. In 1812, a young Swiss explorer, Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, set out in disguise. As Sheikh Ibrahim, he roamed the Levant, following fragments of rumor and ancient memory. He heard of ruins hidden in a valley, sacred to the locals. With careful words and patient steps, he gained their trust and was led to a narrow passage, the Sikh. And there, through that winding canyon, he emerged into Petra, a ghost city etched in stone. His discovery lit a fire across Europe. Artists painted it. Scholars rushed to study it. The lost city was no longer lost. Petra became myth, history, and cinema all at once. Indiana Jones galloped through its canyons. Documentaries framed its facades in golden light. Tourists from every corner of the globe came seeking the magic Burckhardt first glimpsed. But even as the world returned, Petra remains unchanged in its soul. Weathered, wise, watching, it does not shout its story. It waits for those who listen. Modern wonder. In 1985, UNESCO named Petra a World Heritage Site. In 2007, it became one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Today, over 1 million people visit every year, yet only a few truly listen. Petra doesn't just show you its past, it asks you to imagine its soul. What dreams were born here? What prayers were whispered to the cliffs? What wisdom still sleeps beneath the sand? The timeless city. Petra is not just stone. Petra is a story of survival, of brilliance, of beauty carved into the bones of the earth. Some cities are built to last. Petra was built to echo through time. This is Petra, the rose-red city, half as old as time.